Hello, I'm Adrian and welcome to Fight Scene Breakdown. Today we're taking a look at the incredible final battle sequence between Captain America, Iron Man, and the Winter Soldier. What sets this battle apart from so many others in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that preceded it are several things, but chief among them is the fact that it's the final sequence in the film and the entire fate of the universe is not in the balance. A giant mass of land won't be dropped, the world won't be taken over by aliens, gunships aren't going to wipe out part of the population. It's an extremely small scale battle between characters who just moments before were working together, and that's what makes it so awesome. By not having to worry about so many things and just focus on a fight between three individuals, it makes the situation that much more personal and meaningful. Notice how this is one of the few fights in this universe where we see our protagonists beaten, bloodied, and bruised. The fight carries literal and figurative weight. They aren't just shrugging off the punches, they are being hurt both physically and emotionally. It's a fight which ends in which no one is the victor. Sure, Captain America got in the final blow, but what did they end up with? A fractured Avengers, Winter Soldier lost his arm, and Cap even gave up the shield he has had for decades. The stakes were deeply personal in this battle. Iron Man was fighting to avenge his parents' deaths, and Captain America was fighting to defend his childhood friend. It's a really terrific setup and makes the fight feel that much more impactful with every blow. A fight which takes place in multiple locations hinges very much on your audience understanding the geography in order for them to fully enjoy the scene, and that is completely dependent on the cinematography and the editing. In this case, at every point in the fight you are aware of where they are in that bunker and you can clearly follow how they change scenery and end up where they do. As per usual, the shots are extremely well chosen and highlight the important aspects of the choreography. For example, in this short sequence we begin by panning with Iron Man to emphasize the speed and power of flight, and quickly cut to a shot displaying Iron Man tackling Winter Soldier to the ground. As soon as Iron Man is going to use his leg to pin Winter Soldier, we cut to this vertical angle where it drives home the incredible strength of the leg by making the motion go from left to right as opposed from top to bottom had they shown it in a horizontal angle. But in mere moments we cut back to the wide to be able to see the shield flying in from the side, effectively destroying Iron Man's hold. But perhaps the most memorable shot of this extensive battle is the one first shown off in that awe-inducing trailer, where we get to see the power of teamwork demonstrated in a single wide. No cuts, just amazing choreography and a brutal display of power and efficiency. Also, kudos to the Russo brothers for including this awesome shot which echoes the original artwork of the Civil War comic book storyline. Speaking of choreography, this is one of the rare fight sequences that manages to include the best of both worlds. In other words, fight sequences usually fall into one of two distinct categories: presentation fighting, where we get to see a ton of shots showing the characters engaging in moves that send them reeling towards another location, but not a lot of actual hand-to-hand combat; or actual fighting, where we see extended sequences and close quarters battle. The choreography leading up to the fight in the basement is mostly presentation, with the heroes tackling each other or delivering devastating hits that end with them on the floor, but it works in this sequence because Iron Man is trying to take out Winter Soldier by himself while keeping Captain America at bay and really wouldn't need more than one or two moves to finish him off. But once we're all in the basement, we get to finally see these three engage in one of the most visceral hand-to-hand combat scenes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A push kick sets up Iron Man's positioning and what proceeds as the most brutal beatdown possible. They exchange blows and a quick roundhouse from Bucky brings Iron Man to one knee, only to be followed up with a series of shield strikes. Iron Man is no martial artist, so it is very appropriate to see him engaging in primarily boxing moves with Winter Soldier. Having his arm sliced off by Iron Man was unrelentingly brutal and really sets up the furious beatdown by Captain America. It also led to another excellent nod to the comics by having Iron Man learn Captain's fighting style by scanning his movements and countering. And how exactly did he win? By systematically exploiting Cap's weaknesses and taking advantage of his strengths. He first removes the shield, goes in for a low blow as Cap is used to fighting up top, delivers a rocket elbow, something Cap can obviously not perform, and finishes off with another energy blast. But in a surprising turn of events, once Iron Man is distracted, Captain America uses Iron Man's powers to his advantage. Iron Man tries to use his boosters to fly out of Captain America's grip, but ends up jetting his own head into a piece of concrete as Captain America slams him into the ground, but decides to spare his life at the very last moment. Wow, what a sequence, huh? By blending the best of presentation and actual fighting, shooting and editing it in a natural and seamless way, and presenting us with incredibly personal stakes within a very compelling storyline, we are left with what may be the most gut-wrenching finale in any of the Marvel films so far. What did you guys think of the fight? Which fight would you like me to analyze next? Subscribe and you can follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and brand new Facebook fan page, Godzillarex. See you next time.